off for the airport's one of my least favorite parts because you have everything ready and you're ready to go and then you're just killing time. You really want to get there, but you can't speed it up any. So it's mostly just that nervous energy to get started. I was really excited because we had a great crew. I was ready to go. So originally Katie was just going to come and enjoy the trip. She's a great girl, so I thought it'd add to the vibe. And then eventually, I think Blair and Renee wanted her to paddle alongside them because they wanted a boat a little bit closer and they didn't want to be so close to the big boat. So it was perfect. She jumped in for the two legs and came along and supported us. Made sure Renee swam straight, tried to keep up with Blair. I remember being stuck in the car all day and just wanting to get into the water and kind of wash off all that car. We got down to the registration, we checked in, we were waiting for a meeting, and we were planning on going for a swim until we had seen the lightning and the cloud lines coming in. But we dipped our feet in, and it really did feel like a bucket of sweat.
It's like swimming in sweat. It is warmer than the air right now. It's a bath with bubbles and everything.
I think it was a little less warm for me because I had trained in an 86-degree pool. So I jumped in going, oh, this is great. This is what I'm used to swimming in. Whereas Blair and Renee, I think, spent a lot of their time in the open ocean, which is great. I think they had more open ocean experience, but you know, our ocean was 65, 70 at that point, if even that warm. So this felt really warm to them, I think. The morning of the race, we had planned on leaving at 7:10 exactly. So, you know, I buffered myself a little bit, but I was up and ready and finished with all my preparations by 7 and ready to go. And some people were still stumbling out of bed and lollygagging a bit and enjoying their morning coffee. And I knew that it wasn't worth getting excited over because the second you get really frustrated with it, you start tapping your own energy and it honestly just ruins your day. So I was doing my best to focus on other things and realize that 10 minutes wasn't going to kill me. But it was an interesting morning.
The backpack's ready.
We dropped off most of the team at the boat on the other side of the island. They had to take the boat all the way around, and Katie and I drove at the start of the race. It was 8 o'clock in the morning, and it had to have already been 85 degrees. It was the first race I think I trained for where I had followed through on training. This one I stayed committed, I think, because I had a team depending on me, where if I didn't make my time, we all would fail. There was no whistle, there was no horn. Somebody just said, "All right, you guys ready? Okay, go." And we just kind of started out. And I started out against the current, and I started out slow. I wanted to pace myself. I think I paced myself a little too well, which in the end, this is a race against the current, and if you end up too slow in the beginning, you're going to be fighting it the rest of the way.
I think this is going to fight it for a bit.
Yeah, I think you're against it for a minute.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
How's the water?
I feel like shit.
At least the first half a mile, 3/4 mile was against the current, and it took forever. And so I knew that it was, 3/4 mile to this pier, and I started doing the math, and I'm like, this is going to take me 6 hours at this pace. You get around I think it's the Whitehead Pier, and all of a sudden the current goes with you. And I started flying. I'm like, oh, no problem, I'll do this in under 2 hours. And the math was going the other way. And at the very end of the island, you make a right turn, and all of a sudden you're open to ocean swells coming from the west. And they go right up to the island. So you have swells going up to the island, and then they bounce off of a seawall and come right back at you. So you're pretty much in a washing machine. You can't even tell which direction these swells are coming from. It ends up just being, 3 to 4 foot chop.
I can't get a stroke going in this crap.
I'd already taken too many goos. The chop had started messing with my stomach. I was getting a little seasick. So I just wanted straight water.
Aaron, what's your reading?
I don't know, I can't see it. I'm gonna wait till I get out of this shit.
So I'd spent way too long swimming against the chop and against the current, and I saw the buoy finally, which was a great moment. And I'm swimming closer and closer and closer, and I'm expecting by the time I hit the buoy that Renee's going to be either in the water or ready to jump. And as I'm getting closer to the buoy, Renee's still on deck. I was so ready to get out of that water. I had no idea what was going on board, that she had actually broken her goggles and was looking for a spare pair instead of just not being ready.
Okay, go!
Go, Renee! Woo!
It was a long, hard-fought leg for Renee. Because my leg was a little bit slower because of the chop, Renee faced a dead-on current the entire time. Just mile after mile after mile. And she had a lot of the deeper spots with, I think, the water moving a little bit faster. So I finished my swim, and Renee had jumped in, and I was off the hook. And the second I sat, I never wanted to move again. And she was swimming, for a good long time. She was ready for it to all be over, and we were looking for the buoy forever. And we got closer and closer to the spot and kept expecting to see it, and it never appeared. So we actually saw Archie jump out of the water. He was the other diabetic who was swimming the second leg. He jumped out of the water, and his other relay mate jumped in, and they switched off. And I was like, well, that stinks. Maybe they just, took the slower swimmer out early. And I was a little upset, and so I looked over and I'm like, hey, why'd you guys switch? And they said that they had actually seen the buoy, and they saw them pull it up on a boat and take it away. So they had just mentally marked the spot where it was and made the transition there. So I turned to Blair, and I'm like, well, we're already past that. You need to get in the water now. Blair's like, I need a little more time, and everybody had our moments, and luckily we're all athletes enough to know that those moments don't mean anything, so we were fine yelling at each other and expressing our needs quite forcefully. And Renee had to keep swimming without that buoy anywhere. She had no idea how much longer she had to go. She couldn't kind of put that finish line in her mind. And she just kept swimming. She just put her head down and swam, and she was just rock solid the entire time. We just made up our own buoy point, and they switched it out and tagged and hugged and moved on. I don't know, it's 2:26 right now. She has 2 hours and 4 minutes to make it. See what I mean? Yeah, she's gonna fly.
So glad to be on a boat.
She was a little worried about the time because we were getting towards that cutoff. And she kept just skipping her nutrition. She was in a place, I guess her blood sugars were good, she had planned it perfectly. And she stopped just once for a couple sips of water. I think that was actually on the back side of the island when she had already gone through the cut. Took a couple sips of water and was done. She didn't want to stop anymore because she was afraid that would be the one, the 1 minute that would put us over the clock. When I originally planned it, I thought there was going to be only 3 of us. We weren't going to have support, so that I would have to drive the boat 1 or 2 legs. Luckily, because Peter and Tony came along, they jumped right in. I didn't have to worry about it. So after my swim, it was nice not having to worry about everything else going on and just enjoying the moment. I thought that we'd be stuck on the boat when Blair finished, because there really wasn't any way of getting on shore except for swimming. So we decided to anchor the boat. We left Tony on it just in case the anchor didn't hold, and the rest of us jumped over and swam to shore so we could actually be there and celebrate the moment. And it was a nice moment sitting on the beach and just thinking about how many people came around us to help us. It wasn't just the 3 swimmers. We had crew there. We had Tony and Peter and Katie, who really came out and spent a lot of time to make it possible for us, to make it easier for us, that we wouldn't have to take care of everything. And we had some amazing sponsors who also helped us. So it was great having everybody believe in what we were doing and really want to jump on board and help us out. It made it so that I knew that I could do my next trip.
Loving everything I find. La 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 la.